What's going on, guys? It's Lamprey, DJ Lamprey here on the beat. Um, this is going to be a little bit of a different video. There's not going to be really any goofs, no gaffes, no silliness in this one. I'm going to be talking about a struggle in my life, and I just hope that I can give you some words of wisdom. So you read the title. Basically, my whole life, I thought that I was an introvert. At least when I heard of introverts and extroverts, my mom actually told me when I was a kid, and I was like, okay, that's cool, but extrovert, that's kind of lame. Introvert's probably like way cooler because it's like, you're like fucking Sigma Batman type shit. And when I was a little bit older, I started getting into like more kind of sad, I guess, like pop punk emo music. Like a lot of my friends were listening to 21 Pilots, so I was listening to them. So I definitely thought that it was like super cool to be introverted. And so I would like take these tests online, and I took the Myers-Briggs test, and it said that I was an introvert. And of course, I was like, that's sick. I'm not like everybody else, I'm different. I'm an introvert. So what ended up happening was, through taking those tests, I learned the categories that people say that introverts fall into. So, don't like to go out. I like to stay inside, watch movies, play video games, read, listen to music. I'd rather have a small, tight-knit group of friends than a big one. Stuff like that. Well, what I didn't realize was that I was a child, and children do not have ginormous groups of friends who, go out and, like, party and stuff. And little kids, the extent of your biggest social gathering would be like a family reunion or a birthday or something. But as I grew up, I didn't really realize the distinction. And shout out to all my introverts out there, okay? There's nothing wrong with it. But I wish that I never got into that mindset of like, yeah, I'm an introvert, this is the way that I am, kind of thing. Because what ended up happening is when I was actually old enough to form meaningful social connections with people, I had moved from Oregon to Ohio, and I pretty much lost my entire friend group, and I had to make a new one. And that new friend group fell apart, and so I was left with very few, like I didn't have a very wide net socially. So, I'm this introvert guy, and I just want to sit at home and watch YouTube and listen to music and just hang out with, like, my girlfriend, right? And that's the way that it's been for years. But what unfortunately has happened is that I never really practiced in high school making new friends. Like, I didn't do any clubs because I didn't want to meet people because I was an introvert, right? Introverts don't need friends. They just need themselves and their books and their little cozy vibes. But as it turned out, not having any friends that you hang out with outside of school is extremely lonely and sad. And that's kind of where I am right now. Is that I am so terrified to talk to people. Like, I'll talk to people, but like, I literally cannot open up to people and actually be friends with them, and I cannot hang out with people outside of school. I'm a freshman in college right now, and it's pretty fucking hard. Especially because I go to a pretty small college, and I don't live on campus, so this is not like a pity party for me. I mean, I guess it kind of is just a way for me to talk about my problems, but I just want anybody who is listening to this that has identified as an introvert to know that you don't have to act like an introvert, like, I don't know if I'm an introvert or an extrovert, and I don't really care, but I'm not going to let that label hold me back, So that's kind of the takeaway from this, is that if you believe yourself to be an introvert, don't just hold yourself up in your house. Go out, still make friends, still practice your social skills. And I do believe that things are going to get better for me. I'm just getting used to college. Like, it's not that bad. I don't want anybody to be like worried, thinking that I'm like extremely depressed or anything, because I'm okay. But the idea of this video was just to kind of talk about the dangers of holding yourself to a mindset that might not be healthy. And I want to talk more about, like, what is being an introvert? Well, I don't know. I don't really know. People say that being an introvert is getting your energy from social situations, or sorry, the other way around, getting your energy from being by yourself and relaxing. And I do, to a certain extent, like, identify with that for sure. But at the same time, like, I definitely think that most people like that. Most people like to come home and sit down and, like, take a load off, literally. Like, you see it all the time, like, grown men coming home, fucking watching the sports game, sitting watching the damn Kansas City Chiefs play with a beer in hand. They don't want to be bothered by their kids, And it's the same way with teenagers. You just want to come home, you want to play video games, you want to watch TikTok or whatever. But the point is, if you think you're an introvert, don't do that every single day. Do not just come home and do nothing. You still need friends, even if you're an introvert. So, yeah. That's my rambling. I don't really want to drag this out for too long, but yeah, see ya.